We've heard Michael talking about Brexit, saying that he needs to know by March 2018 what's happening in March 2019, or his forward bookings, his entire positioning of aircraft will come into play. Is that still the case, or how close are you guys to making big decisions on your UK airports?
Yeah, I think we straight away when the referendum result happened, we started to, we reduced our growth rate in the UK by half, and it's still about half of what it was at now. At the same time, we'll be opportunistic. So Monarch went out of business, and are there opportunities that came from that? Yes, there are, and we will be opportunistic, particularly in regional UK, and the demand from Europe to fly to the UK has been strong. That could have been aided by the euro being quite strong against sterling. So we'll be opportunistic. We will, I think, September of this year now becomes the new March. So it's September 2018 rather than March 2018, because that's when we'll issue the summer schedule for next year. So what we hope now is that the UK government get their act together, and you just see less of the sabre rattling that you have between London and Brussels at the moment, and that they actually are, we hope, in the background going through these issues and saying, well, what is going to be the solution to open skies? Because if you go back over the past 6 months, I mean, literally no progress has been made since December. All our attention here was pretty much on what's going to happen with the border. They paid over the 50, they committed that they're going to pay the 50 billion divorce settlement. They got the 2-year extension, but what happens next? Pragmatically speaking, what's probably going to happen next is that everything remains the same within the 2-year extension period. I think probably the 2-year extension period becomes a 4-year extension period, and that we're still going to be talking about what's going to be the final outcome on Brexit in a 3 to 4 year period, because and the UK government, of course, is going to change in that time frame, and a second referendum. All those things are possible. We're not just going to say, okay, well, we'll just assume that. We'll keep banging our drum saying we need a solution to open skies. There's an A4E meeting next week in Brussels, and they will, I expect, reiterate the call and the urgency for a call. And it's not just Ryanair. The CEO of Air France was also out saying we need an alternative to open skies, because it's not the WTO fallback.
So even by September, you're not going to be relocating aircraft off the
I suspect not, but the tickets that we sell for the summer of 2019 then will be subject to the regulatory environment allowing. Now, if there's clarity from London and Brussels that the regulatory environment, if both sides agree that the regulatory environment, i.e. open skies, absolutely continues, and if the UK is part of that, and if the UK remains in the European Court of Justice, then it's business as usual through the extension period. But then even within the extension period, they need to start working on an alternative, an official alternative to open skies for some point in time. I mean, it'll be in August that we'll be lining up what do we think the schedule would be, and it would be around the second half of September that we would traditionally launch that summer schedule. So it'll be by early September that we'd ideally need to know internally, and by the end of September that we'd be communicating what the schedule would be.